What is up, everybody? It is 2019, and with that being said, I'm going to give you in this video some quick tips to spiritual growth in 2019. Tip number one, pray more, slay more. That's right, pray more and slay more. It's time we stopped praying as a defense and started praying as an offense. Prayer is powerful. Why don't we do it enough? Understand that prayer moves God, and it is our direct connection to the one who moves mountains. That's right, moves mountains. Just like in Matthew chapter 17, verse 21, where Jesus comes down from the mountain and there's a demoniac little boy who's been waiting to be healed from this demon possession. And yet the father tells the disciples, hey, I need you to heal this cat, but they can't. And so Jesus comes down and he's like, how much longer do I have to put up with you guys, this faithless generation? And he heals the boy and he says, look, this only comes out by prayer and fasting. Prayer and fasting. Prayer works, and fasting leads us into point number two. Think fast. Do you fast on a regular basis? If you do, great, do it more. If you don't, no problem. Start doing it. Fasting is important. Fasting is a way for us to deny our flesh and depend on God for what we need. It positions us so that we can be more in tune with the Father. So our flesh isn't ruling our bodies, but it's our spirit that is the one that we hear. It's a sacrificial offering to God, a way of us saying, God, I do not depend on bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of your mouth. This isn't something that we should just do at the beginning of the year. This is something that we should make a regular practice in our lives. Fasting works. Fasting positions us. And I encourage you in 2019 to practice fasting more often in your life. Tip number three, lose weight. I don't mean physical weight. However, if that's a goal of yours, go for it. But what I'm talking about is that we would strip off every weight that holds us back, especially the sin that trips us up. Let us run with endurance the race that God has set before us. Well, how do we do that though? By keeping our eye on Jesus. Do some self-inventory. Be vulnerable and transparent with yourself and with someone you are close to that can help hold you accountable in your relationship with God. If we're gonna run this race with endurance, then we're gonna need a team cheering us on and challenging us to be better, which leads me to my next tip. Tip number four, be uncomfortable. Everybody likes to be comfortable, but we need to stop hiding behind our insecurities and our fears. If praying for someone in public scares you, do it. Be scared. If stepping into a position at church makes you short of breath because you feel like you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not spiritual enough, but you still feel that God is directing you in this, then do it. We need to stop praying ourselves out of trials and start praying ourselves through those trials. Pay attention to God's faithfulness and pay attention to what He's teaching us through these trials so that when we come out, our endurance has been tested and our endurance is being strengthened and we're able to focus on God rather than the pain of our circumstance. Quick tip number five, die to self daily. It's not about you, it's about Him. Place Him first in everything that you do, and everything else is going to be added unto you. Look it up, Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. That leads me to our last quick tip for this week, and that is tip number 6, stay connected. The enemy's plan is to isolate and to separate, to keep us away from one another, because when there is unity and we are connected, there are some great things that can happen. So stay connected to God and stay connected to others. You know, here's the church, here's the steeple, open it up, and here's all the people. That's important for us. We got to stay connected to one another. God created us to do relationship. And so when we stay connected to Him, the source, and stay connected to others, then we're gonna see ourselves grow spiritually, and we're gonna see God do some amazing things, just like we saw Him do all throughout the Bible and all throughout the early church. I believe that we're going to see that here in 2019, but it's up to us to stay connected to Him and stay connected to others. That is the end of the quick tips for spiritual growth in 2019. I pray that you guys are encouraged, and I also pray that you guys are challenged. If you have anything that you need us to pray about, please let us know. We want to pray with you. And other than that, we pray that you have a wonderful week, and we will see you Friday for Downpour. Have a blessed week.